Here's part two of my biggest takeaways from week two of this college football season. Let's go over some of the biggest upsets from this week. Starting with some of the under the radar matchups. Missouri State gets their first FBS win over Marshall 21-20. FCS Bryant upsets UMass by 1 point as well, 27-26. Army continues the Ireland curse for Kansas State, beats them 24-21 after losing to Tarleton State last week. Crazy stuff there. Kansas State is off to a rough start, just like UCLA, who loses to UNLV. Don't look now, folks, but the UNLV Rebels are 3-0. And last, Ohio beats West Virginia. West Virginia just does not look good this year. Ohio, on the other hand, looks pretty good. Parker Navarro balled out again. Looks very solid all around. And first in the big upsets this week, Baylor knocks off SMU in double overtime. This was an absolute thriller. One of the best games so far this season. As you see here, 600 total yards of offense, 440 of those coming from Sawyer Robertson, who once again took over this ball game. At one point, Baylor was down 14-0, but they power back, inspired by an immaculate Sawyer Robertson performance once again. Get this one to overtime and ultimately end up getting the W. Kevin Jennings for SMU also had a great game. SMU in general had a great game, but Baylor was able to make one more play at the end of this one. Great win for Baylor. They might find their way into the top 25 this week. And next is the Mississippi State Bulldogs knocking off the number 12 team in the country, the Arizona State Sun Devils. And before the season, a lot of Arizona State fans just did not like the fact that I said that this offense would moderately regress without Cam Scadaboo. But I think in this game we saw that the offense just was not clicking for a majority of this game. Just 330 total yards and 82 pass yards for Sam Levitt. Not a great game all around, but they did find a way to power back and make this a ball game late. They even held a lead in the fourth quarter. But Mississippi State's defense comes up big. Mississippi State is a team to watch this year. They go out and beat Southern Miss last week, who I think is a solid team in the group of five, and they just knock off a top 25 AP opponent. They could do big things this year. I'm going to have them ranked this week. Let me know what you think of them. And for the biggest upset this week, South Florida does it again, knocks off another top 25 opponent. This time, the MacGuffin holders, the Florida Gators. And viewers of the channel know I told you to sell your Florida stock while it was high. And I said before this game, South Florida was going to be able to give this Florida team fits. They are a very solid team led by Byron Brown, who once again had an amazing performance. Led the Bulls in both passing and rushing yards this week. And overall, this was a very back and forth game. Not either side dominated. You would expect Florida to with the amount of talent they have, but USF is a very, very good team. I would say definitely the top group of five team at this point. And in the end, it is the Bulls who eke out one more play and hit the game-winning field goal. Have a day, USF. I expect them to be ranked in the AP this week.